Welcome back, everyone, to another fun-filled, exciting, action-packed Shape Physical Activity Council Wellness Wednesdays. Tonight, we are joined by a very special guest tonight. It's consider this a New York, New Jersey, tri-state collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, here to show us the one and only Michelle Huff. Michelle, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I thought you almost forgot my name for a second there, Jim.
Me? Nah, never. I was building up suspense.
No, but I'm doing great right now. I feel honored that you asked me to come on and, do a little Health Moves Minds in Action. So I'm blessed to be here, and thank you all for joining. And how are you, Jim?
I'm doing quite well. Yeah. Sorry, it's a few minutes late. I was just actually at the park with my daughter, but I'm back on time. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Oh, well, you're getting some self-care in there.
I know this is awesome. Yeah.
So hopefully you put in your questions if you felt comfortable, your name, where you're from, and then one thing that might have stressed you out today. And we're gonna begin. And my big comfy couch right now. Throw back to when that was a show. All right, so objective of this presentation is to apply Health Moves Mind strategies to cope with stress and other complex emotions. And the key message behind this is that it's equally important and healthy to take care of your mind that it is your body. So we're gonna go over things because all I've been hearing all day is a lot of educators out there are stressed, and these are some strategies that you can not only take and help your fellow peers, but you can use them with your students. So we're gonna start by doing an activity where this is the reason why I had you all put a stressor in the chat, because whatever stressed you out, we're gonna release any negative thoughts, any stresses that you had, or anything that was bothering you. So just watch this video along with me and you'll see how what could look big to you at one moment really is minuscule in like the game of life, and sometimes we need to just release that energy and like that negativity once we acknowledge it. So just give me a second, and you could use this with your students as well. Okay, so these are some of the things people wrote in the chat, and as well as some things I've heard about today. So just watch the video and take some deep breaths as we go along. Okay, so I hope that you were able to see how like sometimes we have a lot of thoughts and it could be clouding our minds, and we just need to release that and get back to the bigger picture and our purpose of why we're here. So if we're feeling that way, self-care is number one, because the thing is, you can't pour from an empty glass. If you're not full, how are you going to pour into your students or anyone around you? It's the same as if you're on an airplane with the oxygen. Like you can't be trying to help someone else and you don't put your oxygen mask on first. So making sure that you're okay and empowering yourself, building yourself up will only help you to empower your students and other people. So which one are you? Take a look at our little picture here. Mindful or mindful? Mindful of a lot of things, or are we mindful and, at peace? So when many thoughts are racing through our minds, that's when we need to recognize it, and that's okay because it happens to everyone, but we recognize it and then we're able to utilize these health moves mind skills to cope with that. Which right here, Health Moves Minds provides you with a self-care check-in. So, Jim just said he was on a walk. I believe he said walk with his daughter. So going on a walk. We love our mindful minutes. Like Kyle and I did that the other day, and like it brought people together too. It's a great thing that everybody can utilize, and it doesn't have to look a certain way. You could do it in your own way and be able to just be present in the moment and, refocus and reset. So these are just some self-care check-in things that you can do that, will help you in how you're feeling. Like I'm looking at Alyssa right now. I know she would be coloring. That's something she does to relieve stress, and everybody likes different things. So, this is a self-care check-in from Health Moves Minds. So if our mind's full, here we go. These are things that we can do. Now we're going to practice muscle relaxation. So I know a lot of you are sitting right now, but the best way to practice muscle relaxation is to lay down. And this is literally from one of the Health Moves Minds lessons. And it's something that not a lot of people do during professional development, so I thought it would be really cool to do it now because it's something that really can relax you. And I know Anna was doing it with her students this week, and just you're gonna follow along, and even if you're sitting in your chair, relax and just pay attention to the words that are being spoken, and I'm gonna participate as well.
Do you ever notice how the muscles in different parts of your body can feel sore? This is not just from running or playing. Sometimes when we feel sad, angry, or worried, our muscles feel the same way. The cool thing is, by relaxing our body, we can also relax our feelings. Today we're going to do a muscle relaxation exercise. This is all about making our muscles really, really tight and then relaxing them. It's easy. Just listen to my voice and follow along. This relaxation works best if you lie down. You can close your eyes. Now, take a deep breath in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth like you're blowing through a straw. Breathe in again through your nose. Breathe out again through your mouth. Keep breathing like this as we begin. Focus on your face. Squeeze your eyes shut. Press your lips together, scrunch your eyebrows in, and wrinkle your nose. Imagine your face getting smaller and smaller and tighter until it's a tiny point in the middle of your head. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now relax your face. Make everything soft again. Awesome. Keep breathing. Next, focus on your neck and shoulders. Feel the different areas of your neck and shoulders. There's a front and a back to your neck. Move your focus down to your neck, to your right shoulder and left shoulder. Now, pretend you're trying to see something hidden on a very high wall. Push your shoulders down and stretch your neck up high and away from your body. Tilt your neck up, up, and up. Good. Bring your neck back down and relax. Now, raise your shoulders up to your ears. Pretend you're a little turtle trying to hide your head in its shell. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your shoulders close to your ears. Great. Now relax and bring your shoulders all the way back down. Keep breathing and feel your shoulders relax. Notice how your arms and hands feel right now. Imagine your arms are made of wood. Pull your wooden arms in towards your body. Lock your elbows. Tighten your wrists. Squeeze your arms, elbows, and wrists. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Great. Relax everything and keep breathing. Next, bring your attention to your hands. Picture lemons inside both of your palms. It's your job to squeeze the juice out of the lemons. Close your fists tight and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Great. Now relax. Let your hands fall open naturally. Wiggle your fingers and then let them relax. Notice what it feels like to relax your hands. Now we're going to pretend you're a knight riding on a horse. It's your job to protect the kingdom from dragons and monsters. You see a dragon, but you realize you don't have your suit of armor on. No problem. You can squeeze the muscles in your chest to protect yourself. As you squeeze, imagine armor is protecting your chest. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Great. Now relax. Imagine you are now lying on the grass somewhere enjoying a nice summer's day. All of a sudden, you hear footsteps of a baby kangaroo chasing her mommy. Uh-oh, the kangaroo might step over you. It's time you squeeze your tummy really tight so that the kangaroo steps over you without squishing you. Pull your tummy in tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Relax. You're doing amazing. Keep breathing. Feel your face, jaw, neck, shoulders, arms, hands, chest, back, and tummy are all relaxed. It's time to move to the bottom half of your body. Imagine there is a parade of ants trying to crawl underneath one side of your body to the other side. If you squeeze your rear end, you'll notice that your body rises up off the floor just a little. Give it a try. Lift up and let the ants through. They're going under your lower back. Wait for them all to pass. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Fantastic. Now relax. Last but not least, let's move to your legs and feet. Imagine you are turning into a toy. Your body can bend at the waist, but you can't bend your legs at all. Tighten up the muscles in your thighs. Your legs should become as hard as a plastic toy. Tighten your knees and the backs of your knees. Squeeze your calves and ankles. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Wonderful. Now relax. Curl your toes in and make your feet stiff and tight. You're standing on the toy shelf and you have to be still for 3 seconds until the kids leave. 1, 2, 3. They're gone. You can turn back into a person now. Relax your legs and feet. Let them drop out to the sides however they want to. Notice what this feels like. Let's finish up with the entire body at once. Take a breath. Now, from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet, tighten every single muscle in your body. Get them all squeezed as much as you can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Release. Relax. Super. Breathe in deeply and let your breath out. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the floor. Let your entire body feel calm and quiet.
Bye. Okay. So I hope that, oh, I love that people are engaging in this. This is something, I know it's a little bit long, but I know that I felt more relaxed after it. And if you felt relaxed after that, write that in the chat. And sometimes it's nice not only for students to hear a voice from their teacher, but also from their peers. So I really like how Health Moves Minds has a student do this, and how they're like, you're doing awesome, because it's always a positive thing when, you know, our peers are empowering one another as well. So hope you enjoyed that. Now, another thing, when you're feeling, you know, if you're ever feeling stressed or overwhelmed, is gratitude. So gratitude is one of the healthiest of the human emotions, because it's you showing thanks for the things that you have. Even if it's something as like we're breathing right now, that's something that I'm thankful for. And the more that you show gratitude, the more that you will be able to express gratitude for. So if you could do me a favor and put one thing in the chat that you're grateful for, that would be awesome. If you don't feel comfortable writing it to everyone, you could just write it to the host, or, you know, talk to me another time about it. But just acknowledging things that we're grateful for is something that will bring positivity to our lives and will help us cope with situations that, you know, may have been bringing us down. Give you like a little bit more. Okay. And then you can have your students do this as well, what they're thankful for. So benefits of, you know, showing gratitude is increased feelings of well-being. It builds positive relationships, because one thing is like, if I'm grateful for my coworker, like if I'm grateful for Alyssa, like I could tell her that, so I could acknowledge it, and then I tell her that, and it's an unexpected like appreciation kind act that you're giving. So you're not only, you know, recognizing things that like you have that you're thankful for, but then you're sending somebody this appreciation, and, you know, it could light their day up. It enhances your mood, because then you're thinking positive and, you know, forgetting all the negative, because, you know, we don't need that. And then it makes you grateful for more things. And what time are we at? That is all we got right now. So you could visit shapeamerica.org, Health Moves Minds. You can speak to myself. Judy is on here, John, you know, and actually a lot of HMM leaders are on here as well. If you have any questions, you could write it in the chat. We could all talk if you want. But those were just a few things that I felt that we could all benefit from. We also, there's one other thing that I could show you, since we have like a little bit of time. And that's a way to, when you're in class, if you want to watch the engagement, so since I participated, I couldn't watch and see like how Kyle and Victor, like I saw you get up after, but I wasn't able to watch you, you know, engaging in it, in the muscle relaxation. So a way that you can and model this is through, you know, like a pre-made video. So for the mindful minute, we can end with this, and you could follow along the video, and then this way I can engage and watch, you know, the students. You're the students right now. You ready for the video? You had perfect timing. I was just getting ready to engage in a mindful minute, and now you could join me. I love it. A mindful minute is a Health Moves Minds skill and technique that you could utilize in your everyday life. It's where you pause for a moment. So if you can right now, pause from whatever you're doing and be present with me for 1 minute. Sometimes 1 minute is all we need to reset our minds, reset our bodies, to refuel, repower, to just get us going again. So we're going to learn this on our breathing and just notice what's around you. Ready? Begin. And I hope you do too. Matter of fact, how about you describe how you felt after completing the mindful minute by dropping an emoji underneath this video post? Go ahead. Stay tuned for the rest of this week's Health Moves Minds videos. 8 a.m. Eastern. So that's just an example of how you can, do a short video, but still be watching your students at the same time. And these are some more skills, but yeah, so thank you all for participating with me. While I'm not sure, because some of you are still in the mindful minute, but emojis, I'm not sure if you're able to do them in the Zoom. Sometimes I would have to copy and paste it, but there's other ways that you could utilize feelings. If you can't do that, you could have them write it, or if they don't feel comfortable, have them send it to you. Or now Health Moves Minds has the hearts, so they could, either put a heart there of the color, or they could just write the color that they're feeling. So these are just like a bunch of resources, and there's so much more. And then Jim, can we unmute everyone if they have questions?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, I know we have a lot of HMM leaders, so if they want to share, especially the ones that have been in school, what's been working and, helping them in their classes.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's great. And I got to say, I showed that to last spring. Before I do that, I showed that to my guidance counselor, who is about.
Yes. Yay. Hi, everyone.
Well done, Jersey.
Yay.
I'm really relaxed, and I just got off my college call, my methods class, and I was riled up. There's something that really, tightens you up when you're rattling for 2.5 hours and you're doing activities, and my classes happen to be at night. So now at least I know I can get to bed tonight, because I don't think to do a mindful minute at night before I go to bed. And not that I'm going to bed anytime soon, but it really felt good to do it at night,
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Judy, I love that you do that. And we're actually, we are putting nighttime routines and morning routines, like teaching kids how to do those next week. So we're going to, one of the things is meditating for 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm going to ask them to do a mindful minute instead of like meditating, to implement mindful minute at home as part of the nighttime routine. So, hey, but I wanted to tell you, Michelle, and I just, to make it easier, Michelle Carter had released this, but it has all three.
At once, I know, I screenshot that.
Image. I teach middle school. I think everyone in this place knows at this point. And I'm completely virtual. So when we do the mindful minute, and I use Michelle's video as well, because I say we're going from Jersey to the Lou. I'm bringing my girl Jersey in.
I love when she sends me a picture and it's me on the screen with her kids from Missouri, and I'm like, I love it.
So we do it. It's fun. And so after she says like the emoji thing, I started putting up this image, and they're seventh graders, and so that they can choose which one they want to identify with the most. So either they hold up their numbers of what they're feeling that match with the emotions, or they draw the number, or they draw the emoji, or they may identify with some of the hearts on the other side from the high school level. And I have some kids that are going through some stuff that are starting to identify with stuff more on the high school side with the different colored hearts. And so they'll get their markers out and they'll color the heart level. So I love that it's all in one place, especially for seventh graders, because developmentally wise, they are really starting to have these complex emotions and feelings and move into that higher level. And some of them are and some of them aren't. And so it's great to be able to like bridge the gap between the two. So I just wanted to share that. And the kids love it.
I also have something to piggyback off of that. I'm actually, Alyssa, I actually work with Michelle in Jersey, and to kind of bring that emotion and the coloring and everything up one step further, I actually do a silhouette with my students, which I actually just shared with Michelle the other day, where you hand them a silhouette of themselves, or you like send it to them, and they actually get to choose like 5 emotions, like ask them to choose 5 emotions as to what they're feeling right now. And they actually color the silhouette in. So if I'm feeling super anxious one day, maybe more than half my silhouette is going to be colored in red, but then the rest will have other colors. So that way you're kind of mixing in color therapy, and it also puts it into a visual perspective for the students.
That's awesome.
And I see that Kyle just added something in the chat, and I just got to let you know, Kyle, I watched your video the other day of this or that, or was it this or that, or you were doing things with just a garbage bag, and I'm like, yo, we're going to utilize that with our kids, because we start tomorrow. We haven't had our students yet. That's why I like hearing perspective. I feel like Anna's been in school for a year. It's only been compared to us. And then I'm seeing you with the garbage, like doing things from at home, because our school is all virtual as well. So I love like that, you know, when we all post things. Oh, Victor, I know you're posting things all the time. Like it's just so great to have that camaraderie and like all of our gifts being utilized amongst, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, with that, you'll be surprised that almost all of them have plastic grocery bags to use, you know, or garbage bags or socks or whatever you need. So yeah, we've been like a month in now, so we just trying to get creative with our equipment at home.
Yes, I love that. Cartana, I'll have to show you that tomorrow. So I see my sister wrote that a few of our students came in because they were crying today and nervous about going to high school. And so they said, oh, how and where do I, they're craving these skills, how and where do I start? Oh, well, healthmovesminds.org. So I guess I should put that in the chat, even though I'm going to just give you it. But if anybody else, because yeah, they're 8th graders going to the high school and they're anxious. I mean, they're not physically going there, but wow, that makes me like really happy that they joined.
It's cool that, oops, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if any of you have heard what's going on in New York, next week we are going to be, I haven't seen my students since middle of March. And next week we're going to focus just on remote. We're going to focus mostly on just social emotional learning. So I am going to pretty much use everything in the Health Moves Minds playbook. Everything. I've already posted on my Google Classroom. I can't wait to use these things. I can't wait to use them.
Jim, I will tell you that they have been a lifesaver as far as, I'm sure that Kyle will tell you too, but since we're totally virtual as well, I love starting my class with it. Whether it's better breathing, mindful minute, muscle relaxation, the emoji chart, we're gonna do halted tomorrow. So yeah. We do a what major week like Shay does. So, I mean, but I utilize so many of the different techniques because they need that. They need it so bad. So I'm excited to hear for your end how my kids are loving it.
We definitely have to do a follow-up. Of course, Michelle definitely always, this was more of a different kind of Health Moves Minds, kind of a different Wellness Wednesday kind of thing. But I mean, like the great thing about the series is that you really can encompass anything. So I think
Yeah, I wanted to switch it up a bit. I haven't seen anyone really do the muscle relaxation, and that's something that like Anna and I were like talking about it. And when she's like, I'm gonna have my kids do this, and I was like, wow, that's like actually my video I'm doing tomorrow. Just like we're on the same page. And doing it, I was like, yo, this is really empowering, and it was really helpful. So, you know, but you right now there's so many like Health Moves Minds leaders, and like we got Judy up there, like the boss. So like this,
Michelle?
it could be like a collaboration type of deal. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, would like to thank you all. I'm Brazilian and we are still virtually. So
you're
you are
from
helping us, you are
Brazil.
helping me a lot here to program my class, my virtual learning, and thank you very much for everything.
You're in Brazil?
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I'm
tweeted me
Awesome.
earlier. I was like, wait, she's gonna come on. Oh my gosh, so nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Brazilian and I teach in a British school here, but we are always still virtually. We thought we would return next week, but they cancel again. So we are still teaching virtually. But everything we're doing is amazing and I'm learning a lot, and the students are enjoying many of your activities that we are doing with them.
I'm really curious about in the teaching of the Health Moves Minds concepts, kindness and emotion recognition. How are you engaging our young men, our young boys about breaking those gender stereotypes and getting them to understand that being kind is cool, that expressing emotion is healthy? Does anybody have any tips about that? Is it about the connection of the teacher, or is it the lessons that help you? Can anybody answer that for me?
I think it's a little bit of both, in my opinion, and from what I've noticed from my students. I think it's also the safety of the classroom, like feeling safe with your students, your peers, your teachers, and just understanding fully the lesson and the impact that it has on their life. And I think that once one person starts to do it, just like everything else, it turns into a domino effect.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off that. I think it's really important to model that behavior, and really be intentional about your feedback and how you're proud of people for doing the right thing, and you know, everybody clap for you, and like just making it a big deal. It might be a small thing, but you can make it a big thing by planning for it, be purposeful, but being a good role model, and you know, it's okay to be emotional, and you can tell them that, right? But you have to know how to handle it. And if you do that, they look up to you, and I think they'll see it naturally happen out of you. And then just being intentional with your feedback, I think.
I would say last year that I had kids like shaking hands and high-fiving each other after the games and getting along with each other, working in small groups. Now it would have to be come up with your own way to elbow bump or air bump or whatever because of the COVID thing. But just practicing the skills with the kids.
Mm-hmm. And I think too, like, just like you all have said, leading by example, you know, being intentional about how we compliment students or what we say to them, and especially, you know, pulling out their talents or saying, I really like that you did this, or I think that I really like how you said this, and just being very specific and to showing their strengths, because, you know, I know that we do that, but I have had kids that will interrupt, like in the chat, or they'll unmute themselves after we get done saying something or a conversation. And a few times it's more than often they've been actual boys that have said, I really like that so-and-so did this, or this person is, you know, is really talented with this. Like they'll say it, come out and say it. And I think it's the culture that we're creating in that classroom, even via Zoom within a few short weeks. And it's just modeling that and allowing them to feel safe to say stuff like that. So, yeah.
I'll chime in. If you've always asked, one of my favorite books is called Teaching with Love and Logic. And what you just said, and pretty much kind of piggyback, it's, you know, culture is so critical, and you being the presence and the one that kind of like not just saying it, but also kind of the one that's being calm and consistent. So a lot of time, especially for me, just with anyone, is just kind of being calm and consistent, not going too high, not going too low, but being also transparent. And I think students really respect when you treat them with respect. They really, and if you're real with them and honest with them, they will, do it, and they'll do it return and back. A lot of times, like that's really what they want. And if you treat them,
Just saying I noticed was a big thing from Love and Logic.
Yeah.
And by the way, Judy, Love and Logic is a company in Golden, Colorado.
Logic, oh, that makes me happy. I love that. That's like one of my favorites.
I love Love and Logic. I use it all the time. I started using it 2 years ago, and I use it. It totally changed the entire setup of my class.
It really did. Yeah, it's
Transformed it.
and if you're not familiar with it, it's not really even. Well, actually, Anna, what is Love and Logic to those who don't really know?
Um,
How would you describe it?
it's coming from a place of love, and coming from a place of getting to know, as SEL, getting to know your students, is forming those relationships with them, and helping them. I mean, I use different strategies, but it's really just leading with love, and it's leading with kindness, and it's leading with not like, you're not reacting towards them, you're responding, and you're giving them logical ways in order to deal with what is given to them. We have some options, or responding, like some of those different one-liners,
I love the one-liners.
Yeah, the one-liners they're clutch.
David, so let me tell you this one. This one, like, so you'll have those times, like when you're playing. We have the students are playing a sport game. Sometimes they get angry, especially the more they get, sometimes they're not happy with the result, and sometimes they want to turn their frustration and anger into you. And one of the best lines in the book was, it says, like, I don't have this kind of, I don't argue, I don't have this conversation now. We could have it during lunch or after school. And I will always say, make an appointment. And so far, no one's ever made an appointment, but it's just like one of these, like, to disarm. And the whole idea is that, like, sometimes you can actually even, it's not saying, well, you did something wrong, you're going to go sit out for 10 minutes, especially in elementary, but it's just really kind of like good love. Like, you're not really responding to saying, you're really kind of just like taking things very even keel. Like the one-liners, I love the one-liners. Like, it'll give you at the end of every chapter, it gives you like situations, and then it'll say different one-liners, and like these are like, and you wouldn't think
how powerful they are.
Yeah, and like honestly, and you might be like, oh my god, like it takes. It always, to me, like when I first heard about it, it was just kind of almost like something in a Star Wars, like the Force, but it's it's worth it. I mean, I know I could go on about it, and that could be next week's, but actually got a special.
Were you skeptical at first about it, Jim? Because I was skeptical. I was totally skeptical about it at first. But I was able to ease it in with those one-liners, finding one-liners that for me didn't seem corny or cheesy, that seemed real, that I could make real, and that I could apply and feel like seventh graders would respond.
The thing is, that all starts because you build that relationship, and that's what I noticed that Kyle, like when I just saw that you put the SEL skills, modeling them, practicing them, and applying them. Like, you like show yourself vulnerable. Like, you'll put up videos and like be silly, and like that's awesome, because a lot of the males, sometimes they don't think it's okay to have emotions, and it's totally fine to have emotions. We all have emotions. Me and Cartano, we cried like 5 times this week, so it's okay. And a lot of the times, even at our school, the boys will come to us, and it's great when there's some questions. Me and her, I'm like, I can't. I mean, I could give you what I can give you, but sometimes they need a male to give them advice that you've gone through that I haven't. So I think
thank you.
Important question.
I like that you talked. Well, someone mentioned to feel safe, but not just physically, but emotionally, like where you're valued and appreciated, and you can speak up. Because I know sometimes kids, especially boys, are hesitant to speak up about feelings or anything because they think that it's not cool or whatever. So I think, like that culture, making sure that they feel valued and comfortable, and like I said, modeling that. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, I agree. I was just say, and it helps with empathy. Like, it's really something that helps utilize empathy for kids. So you're not, you're not giving yourself, you're not turning the conversation around and like say, oh, I would do this or I would do that. You're meeting them where they are and you're allowing them, you're empathizing with them. And it helps. I think that the love and logic really helps give you like some of those lines like, that's really hard, or this is really tough, or that sounds like there's a lot going on there. It helps give you some of that language like Health Moves Mind says, where you can meet them and be empathetic, and then you're keeping it on them, but they understand that you're allowing them to continue to share. Like you're really interested. You're
one of our students that his 6th grade year, he actually like cursed off one of our phys ed teachers, one of the males. You're gonna know this in a second. And then this past year when we brought Health Moves Minds to our school, he ended up being an advocate where the president of NJ Aford at the time sent him like specifically a thing in the mail because
I mean, where we work, it's a rough environment. It's a rough, they don't have the best home lives. So I think it was just showing that he did something and someone pointed it out and it was a positive. And then when you reinforce that positive and that positivity every day, day in and day out, he can see the difference in himself and in how he's responding to people and how they're responding back to them.
yeah, all good things.
I'm sorry, I get disconnected. Where did we leave off?
Oh, Fernanda, I saw that you have subscribed to me. You are a blessing, seriously. And like, you're going to have a great year and we're going to stay connected.
Definitely, yeah. And actually, while you're here,
Thank you.
actually, and we're actually going to have a schedule change for next week. So Victor is actually going to be joining us and teaching us next Wednesday. He's actually going to be Victor. What was the thing you were telling me about? Some new stuff you were.
Wait, Victor, like I feel like when Clayton said the elbow thing is the high five, like was it you or did you just repost somebody that had different symbols? Like this was their way of like saying
Okay.
hello. Like
So what happened with that was Dan Hill loves superheroes and he made all different types of hand waves and hand signs for each superhero he chose. So I basically counter offered and did 8 other superheroes and did the same thing. So I think what's going to happen, I think we're going to talk and think of other superheroes to do more greetings. And my kids enjoy them. They have so much fun doing them. And it's a great way for them. And it brought up the topic of who is everyone's favorite superhero. And then it got into a topic with my kids, and I teach elementary, pre-K to 5. So the 4th graders, then it got into a conversation of what's your DC favorite hero and what's your Marvel favorite hero. So it just went further in. So I enjoyed it and they enjoyed it as well. But to answer the dance question, I will be doing new dances that are not on YouTube yet. And I'm actually creating a brand new dance right now. And it is
Me too.
It is a brand new.
Preview. No, I'm kidding.
It is a brand new song by Bon Jovi that talks about what we're going through today. So I'm excited to show that, and it actually gives me the incentive to make the dance as fast as possible because of what we're going through today. So I'm excited.
And it debuts next week here, only here, only on the this Wednesday series.
We need a family pick before we go because you already know.
I was wondering when it's going to come on.
Jersey always needs it.
Excuse me, New York too.
Are we ready? And I see your comment below. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Got it. Oh, Cheryl, you know from from our meetings. Oh, I love everyone here. You are all awesome. Thank you for spending the night like with us.